All right, y'all, Del here with Really Old School Exercise. Update on the Sparring Glove Hoof. Did a review recently. This is unplanned because of this. The glove failed during sparring. So, not great for sparring if your sparring glove can't be used. What happened? What is the design flaw that led to this issue? How has more recent models of the sparring glove tried to address it? And is that sufficient? I'm not sure. Let's kind of dig into it and I'll give you my thoughts. So what happened? Sparring, high speed, glove is on. As you can see, it gets a lot of movement, and in certain grips, this piece has an ability to get a little bit of separation, and a strike hit right at the gap. Broke the connection piece that allows the tie to actually tie and connect. I'll show you. You see how it's got this little gap? So it was no longer tied to anything and the thumb fell off. Fortunately, my thumb is fine. I didn't get injured, so the glove protected me, but it failed. Its life is over, basically, right? Unless I put this together somehow. So how has Sparring Glove with more recent models, because mine is from 2017, how have more recent models tried to address this? So I haven't seen one in person, so I had to rely on pictures and reviews and stuff. From what I can tell, the fix that Sparring Glove has put in is these eyelets across all of the eyelets on all of the glove. Instead of simply being naked, like just a hole punched through the styrofoam, they have added a kind of eyelet cover, a little metal ring that sturdies that edge. Now, I think that hardens the area and increases the chances that it will be okay. But it does not address the actual area which broke, which is the little bridge between the eyelets, not the eyelet itself. So having metal there might very well catch a strike and disperse the force and not cause this break to happen. Does it seem entirely sufficient? Not really. Not really, especially considering it is a single point. There's only one attachment point here on the old model. From the pictures, it appears to be the same. I'd be curious if you have a modern sparring glove, mitten, hoof, whichever model, how do they attach this thumb? Because if it is still just one point and the only thing they've done to harden it is add these eyelet reinforcements, it still strikes me as a point of failure. And it's really unlucky for me that this happened. I'm not hurt, which is fantastic. It's just the chances of that one spot being hit aren't that high. So I could see why someone could continue using Sparring Glove if they never get hit in that particular way with enough force on the right spot to break that connection point, then their glove is going to be fine. But if you were building the perfect glove, if you were building the perfect Death Star, wouldn't you want to rectify that issue? And I mean, if it was really unlucky that my Sparring Glove got broken, it was really fortunate that I happened to get the Black Knight glove and I had brought it with me without the intention of using it for high-speed sparring because I wasn't used to it, but just to wear it for some of the time, depending on how practice went, to start breaking it in. So I had it with me. And review forthcoming on this, my beginner's take on it. But I will say, let us look at how these thumbs are attached and compare the apparent vulnerability of this one exposed tie-on spot on the sparring glove to a completely shielded rivet. Now, rivets are extremely robust. It is possible to hit and bust a rivet. But you tell me, do you think it's more likely that this, if hit very hard, is going to break? Or this, if hit very hard, is going to break? It's kind of a no-brainer. And it makes me just wonder about the protection and longevity of these sparring gloves. You know, I'd read and heard reviews that they don't last and that they fall apart. I was giving mine some grace because I had bought them in 2017 and had not really gotten the chance to use them deeply. That's why the initial review just came out. I went on, personal history is long here, but I started getting into HEMA and then circumstances did not allow me to continue, so I only used them for a couple of weeks. And then put them away for several years, 7 years exactly, 8 years, something like that. So obviously an older model, but I don't know, guys. I'm very curious what they've done to reinforce this spot on the newer models, because if not, it just seems like something that's waiting to break. So that's it for my unplanned update on my hoofs. I still think it's a cool glove. It's interesting the ingenuity that people come up with to solve problems for something like HEMA, which is so niche, and to have folks out there making stuff. So this is not intended as a dig on the Sparring Glove folks, but also for buying something for $250, I would like it to last a reasonable amount of time, or to have a reasonable design that takes into account a very common thing, sword hitting glove, to protect that glove. So let me know if you have any updates about these modern sparring gloves in the comments, and I'll see you next time.